from button pushing.
Yeah, I am.
Did you see my low-key trauma response yesterday when we had to redo video one? I was like, don't delete it though.
No. No, I'm just like, let's just delete the whole file and start over again. And you're like,
And I'm like, wait. Just let me copy and paste.
that was funny. And then I sat there for ages after I copied and pasted it. I just sat there and I looked at it. I was like, okay, this is the new one. This is the shorter one. This is okay. I can delete the old one. On YouTube, I didn't touch fucking shit on the script. Trauma from that. So it's just going to be a mess. You're going to have to clean it up. That's all I got to say.
That was a fun pirate eye there. You have kids. That's how you're going to parent them. Stop it, Sonny. I couldn't come up with a name quick enough. Xavier or something.
Xavier.
I feel like you'd name your kid like Chi.
Chi.
Like Robin's egg.
Okay, let's talk about dog names. I want to name my dog. I want it to have like a huge human name like Steve or Fred or just something very human-like.
Oh, I love it.
So funny.
Henry.
Yes, like honestly, they have so much more
Robert.
personality. Bob.
Robert would be a great dog
named
name.
Bob.
Come on, Robert.
Oh my god. A bloody love it.
You got to get a girl dog. Girl dogs are superior. But give it a boy name.
Then people are just going to
Stevie.
confuse
Be
it.
like,
My
it's after
dog is going to
Stevie
be
Nicks.
confused. Stevie Nicks. Okay, yeah.
She won't know.
You're right.
She doesn't know.
Yeah, you're right. I think
Everybody else will be confused.
we looked up.
This is Robert. It's a girl.
We looked up on ChatGPT girl dog names, and they came up with like some really funny ones. I don't remember what they were. Terrible end of the story, but
Oh, yeah. Live, laugh, bark. Was that one of them?
probably.
Oh, my
That's
God.
pretty
That'd
much like,
be awesome.
oh, what's your dog's name? Live, laugh, bark. They're like, okay.
Oh, my God. They would pay you money to name your dog that.
It's so funny. Jay loves blue
my God.
Polanski mushrooms, and he's convinced that we're gonna name a dog Blue Polanski. I was like, maybe not Polanski, but like blue for sure.
But that's,
so
yeah. You're going to be Blue's Clues? What kind of dog are you all getting?
I don't know. We gotta figure it out because I mean, in Vancouver, we're in
Are
apartments.
you getting
but,
a big dog or like a little thing?
I want a medium-sized dog that's like
Okay, good.
can go outside. But the thing is in Vancouver, we could also get a Great Dane. It's just gonna eat a lot of food. They're good apartment dogs.
We could do a medium dog, or we could get a Great Dane. We could get a horse. They're amazing dogs. Yes,
They're good
Big
for
old
apartments.
poops.
Big poops. Big poops. They're
good for
lazy as fuck.
apartments?
Yeah, they are. They're really
Oh,
good
it's because all
apartment
those bones. I can't move them around a lot.
dogs. Yeah, they're
There's-
tired.
Yeah, Scooby.
Yeah, you know they got to take a million fucking naps. So
Oh yeah, that sounds like the life.
like
can't
how I
wait
tell
till you get
everybody
a
I'm
dog.
gonna
You've been
die.
wanting one forever.
Yeah, I know. I really need one. I think it's gonna happen soon. Next place we move into is gonna be dog friendly. So stay tuned.
Well, our dog, she's a German short hair, medium dog, beautiful, like the best dog in the world.
Okay.
Such great dog.
Oh,
Great
I'm so
temperament.
excited. That's good.
Yeah, she's cute as fuck. You've seen
Dogs.
pictures of Rue. She's
yeah,
adorable.
she's so cute. Bless.
Sweet. Everybody tries to kidnap her. Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's go into our confession. Do we do
well-
our confession first, or we do our intro first? Like, I'm so confused on what the fuck we do around here.
Wait. I think we usually do our confession, but we could just go into the intro. We could be crazy. I don't
Mix it
think
up.
anybody's like going, oh my God, they did it out of order. What the fuck?
Well,
I'm not
you-
listening to this fucking podcast again.
You go, girl.
All right. Welcome back to another episode of Gym Bag Confessions. I am Rochelle.
And my name's Anne
And
Marie.
this is, yeah.
I can't do it. We gotta
This
figure
is
out a new
Anne-Marie.
intro. I can't handle this.
We gotta figure out a new intro because I be tripping over it. We've got a fantastic episode for you. We've got a really good extension of our confession from last week, if you got to hear that. So that's gonna be great. And then we're gonna talk about something that has been on our minds probably for a long time, but really how to make changes without beating yourself up. I'm sure we can all relate to this one. So we're gonna dig into it. It's gonna be a good, juicy, all the feels episode. Tell us the confession, Anne-Marie. Tell us.
Okay, well, let me get my phone here. So, Christy slayed us in the group chat after listening to the podcast episode.
The episode dropped 5 minutes later. You bitches.
It was so funny. Where was it here?
While she's scrolling, if you haven't joined our Hot Girl Challenge, be sure to register. It's in the link in the show notes.
It's a screenshot, and she found it on Reddit. and the screenshot is creatine shits are no myth. And then it goes, so I read the effects of creatine. This isn't Christy, this is the Reddit post. And it goes, so I read the effects of creatine on your stomach, etc. I didn't take notice. Holy shit, they're not wrong. Basically, the majority of days are fine, no effects. And then all of a sudden, there's days where I'm basically pissing out of my ass. Like I'm walking home from the gym yesterday and I started to feel a cramp in my stomach. Reached the toilet just in time. You know, one of those where you just where the shit hits the water before your ass hits the seat. I never read this properly.
The shit is so
funny.
Your ass is the seat. That's so good. Oh my god.
Oh my god. I haven't changed anything else about my diet, so it must be the creatine. No? Anybody else experience this? Some days I just can't take creatine around the same time the days before, so I may end up having 10 grams instead of 5. Could this be the problem? I feel I've grown stronger since syncing my cycle, so I don't want to stop using it. And then Christy sent that screenshot and she goes, you assholes, I'm not alone in this.
You assholes.
We died laughing. And then I said, I'm not taking creatine. I shart at the best of times without it. And she said, girl, I know you're afraid to admit it. I sharted myself just cause. And then, oh my God, she goes, but I'm telling you, it's the creatine. And then I said, okay, fine. We'll let everybody know on the next podcast. She said, your body gets used to it. I'm 100% now. Just the first week is a bit touch and go. You only retain water for like the first 2 weeks because I've actually lost weight now. I'm like, okay, slay. I was like, maybe now you're convincing me. I'll wear a diaper for a few days.
You're like, piss out of my ass. Okay, I'll take it.
Anyways, so then all this to say, you didn't actually know this, but Christy then sent me a 3-minute long voice note selling me on creatine. It was so funny. I was like, girl, get it. Like, she was basically telling me how her period symptoms have gotten better. She hasn't PMS'd. She's 100% stronger in the gym. Her moods are more stable. She feels more energized. Like, literally, she sent me a TED Talk on all of her good experiences. And so that I was like, well, you know, take me on the journey of potentially sharting myself. And she was like, come over, I'll give you some creatine. And I was like, okay.
Yeah,
so
yeah. She was like, I got some powder for you. I'm like, are we still talking about creatine?
Some of the juicy
powder are you
nectar.
talking about?
So I'm going to go over to her house tomorrow and she's going to give me creatine. So I'm going to, you know, start the system.
Yeah, just put a diaper on.
I
They
think
make
that's
those for adults.
That's what I have to do. So anyways, I've convinced, oh yeah, and then I asked this girl at my work, and then I went up to her after we had this conversation. I was like, did you take creatine? Because she used to train really hard in the gym. She's like, yeah. I'm like, did you shit yourself? She's like, we had this conversation already. I was like, oh yeah, we did. Completely forgot I had that conversation.
We
so
had
we just
this
had
conversation. Why are you?
So I think we had the same conversation, and she was basically like, you should take creatine. She's like, no, I never shart myself. So then I was like, okay, that's 2 against 1. So my odds are like getting lesser that I'm going to shit my pants now. So I'm going to start creatine.
But you said you shart yourself at the best of times already.
I told the viewers that. I was like, I'm going to be honest.
Just wanted to make sure they heard that.
It's like a running joke in our friend group that when you turn over the age of 30, you shart yourself. So we got this one friend and she's turning 30 soon. And I was like, well, welcome to the era of sharting your
Get her a
pants.
shart shirt for her birthday. And a little packet of pens.
Oh my God, that's so funny. I'm going to. Girl, just buy her Depends. She's going to be like, what is this for? When you shart your pants, girl.
I hate all of you. That's funny. I just want to say, though, that's maybe it's just Canada, or maybe it's your friend group or something. I don't know, but 42 here, still holding strong on the non-sharting. I mean, I can't speak for
Rochelle.
when I was a child.
What a way to brag.
I mean, I want to brag or anything, but no shirts here.
I'm 42 and have never short my pants before. Whatever. Speak for yourself,
Yeah.
okay?
Where's my trophy?
Yeah, you should go. I'm
Oh
gonna
my
send you one on
God
your
almighty.
45th birthday. There's still
Maybe
time.
that's the deadline for me.
There's still time.
Yeah. I'm sure I'll be 80 shitting my pants all the time. Oh,
my
Grandma,
God.
your pants are sagging.
I am gonna be an experienced veteran by then.
Yeah.
Look, just kidding. I've changed my diet a lot. My
Give me all the
digestion's a lot
pointers.
better, okay? So, hasn't happened
Okay.
in a while.
Okay.
Anyways, we're starting creatine, so TBD.
I can't wait for next week's update.
Oh my God. I just said I'm not going to fart the entire first week that I'm taking it, so
Just clench really hard.
just walking around the
Or
restaurant.
just
they're
like
gonna
go
be
sit on the toilet when you feel it coming.
oh my God. I'm scared. Anyways.
Well, let's talk about our challenge update real quick.
You go first.
Okay. Don't mind if I do.
The superior non-charter.
last
Go ahead.
I should introduce myself that way next time. Rochelle, the non-charter. Anne Marie, the one that's probably been charting daily for the last week. That's next week's intro.
Oh
Okay,
my God.
so a really quick recap of the challenge. So last week we talked about how we decided I should increase my caloric intake. And so I've been around 1,700 calories this week, having more consistent meals. There were probably 1 or 2 weeks where I was like super stressed and like going through it. It was really hard for me to eat. So I was like trying to pack in all my calories in like one meal. So this definitely spread out, but I've increased my calories and I'm feeling a lot better. I feel like it's easier for me to regulate my emotions more steady, like emotionally and mentally. I feel like I'm more steady throughout the days, and my sleep isn't getting better yet, but my endurance in cardio has. And then today I had a really big leg day session and I PR'd in like 5 of my 6 workouts. And I felt really good and really strong, and I was feeling that energy come back to me. I've held steady at my weight, which is fine, because I'm not concerned about that right now, even though I am in a cut. But I was just really, my focus this week was just like, let's bump up a little bit
gotta
more
get into
towards
a reverse
maintenance. And
for
so
a
I'm
bit,
feeling, yeah, for sure. So I'll keep this up for a couple more weeks and then kind of take note of how I'm doing. But I definitely feel a difference in my gym performance with
cool.
more calories. So
That's good.
I would like to eventually, when I do go back down into more of cut calories, I would like to just at least see if I can get my body to adjust and stay at 1,700 and not drop down too low, because I want to be able to like fuel my workouts better.
Yeah, I actually found if I
So
go
I'm great.
less than 1,700, it's like, yeah, I can't. I
Yeah.
don't have the energy for working out.
Yeah, I
So.
think it's just too low. Yeah, how about you?
My challenge has been good. I've been wavering on my calories. I probably had like 2 or 3 higher calorie days. I was just feeling all the feels this week. I was having my period's coming, so I was like in my week before, and I've just been more hungry, and that normally happens to me. So I've just been like honoring what my body needs and giving myself the space to do that. Part of me is like, oh, I'm just so done with being in a calorie deficit. The other part of me is like, we only have a few more weeks left to go. Just stick with it. So there was probably like my main goal for the week. I probably missed like 3 days, which I was like, okay with. I kind of actually will be able to talk about this today because of how I've making changes, or like at least maintaining the changes that I have made without beating myself up about it. And I also remember before I went to Mexico that I was in higher calories, like almost around 2,000 some days, but I was like exercising a lot. And so I feel that that it might help me this time doing the same thing. I'm like, okay, because I just started running, which I'm like obsessed with, and I want to do every morning when I wake up at like
that's
5.
fun.
I haven't been going every day, but I have that, like, I'm excited about it, and I want to go every day because it's summer. It's so beautiful outside. So yeah, I've just been going at least 3 days a week or 4. So I'm like, okay, I'll just see about how that goes with increasing my calories. And then I'll go from there and assess. So I think I've like maybe dropped a little bit of weight. But yeah, I'm just being curious about it now because I do think I was in higher calories and lost a little bit of weight. So we're just doing a little bit more experimentation, seeing how it goes. But yeah, I'm feeling really good. I'm feeling really good.
You were saying how you said, oh God, I was fucking around with my hip thrusts.
Oh yeah. Oh my God. Okay. So from our podcast episode last week, I was like, went into the gym and I kept mindful, like everything that you were saying about pushing yourself, and like really tried to think and focus on everything that you were mentioning. So like I used a lot of visualization as well. So like before, especially yesterday, I was doing my squats and I was doing like a visualization instead of like being on my phone. I was just closing my eyes and like imagining myself doing the reps. And that helps so much. And so when I visualize myself moving through the reps quicker and easier, it literally was quicker and easier. It was fucking awesome. So
That's awesome.
huge technique. And then I was like in the gym and I was like looking at myself in the mirror. I was like, I'm a fucking beast. And like just pushing so fucking hard. Thank God nobody was in there.
And you were saying that out loud too, weren't you?
Yeah, 100%. So I was
like
just going
screaming at yourself in the mirror.
Yeah, I went in the middle of the day, so not many people were at the gym, so that was good. But like so much positive self-talk, like all these things actually worked, and so it was really funny. Yeah,
That's awesome.
yeah. So we just went ham. But yeah, and then I got back to my old PR that I had before. I don't know, did I? I think I met it. Yeah, and it was like made me realize in that moment like how mental everything is, because I'm like I probably could have done it last week, but my head just wasn't in the right space. So especially when you're going like super heavy. So I did that all day. My hip thrust, I don't know, I added like 60 or 70 pounds to it. 60. Yeah, I added 60 pounds to it. And I was like, I was really just like fucking around. Like, what was I doing before, you know? So yeah, I pushed myself to like failure on so many more things. So that was really good because I was like, oh, I'm so much stronger than I thought I was. Like I was just chilling. So I'm like, let's see what happens.
Yeah,
I'm gonna keep doing that.
That's what I said. You're gonna realize how much stronger you are than you realize. You know, you're like, oh shit, I could have been pushing myself the whole time. That's awesome. I love
Literally.
that. That's great.
Yeah. So that was cool. So yeah, I had a really good week.
Yay!
Yeah,
That's awesome.
I know.
I love that. I love that.
So yeah, going into our topic this week, I think that's really good. It blends into what we were talking about last week, like how to make changes in your nutrition, your sleep, like whatever it is, without beating yourself up. Because I think we come from this culture where it's like, oh, if we punish you, you're going to make change. And it's crazy. I see this everywhere, right? If you think about somebody was talking to you and they're like, you're so fucking dumb. How could you fucking do that? But if you say to yourself, you know, you say the same thing to yourself, you're not going to do any better. But if somebody externally to you is like, hey, you know, here's the mistake that you made. How can we avoid doing that next time? You're going to be like, oh, okay. You're more open and receptive to learning and taking the feedback in and being like, okay, maybe I could have done it better. This is how I could have done it better. So, yeah, I think just being mindful about how you're speaking to yourself. Like, would you tell somebody else that they're so fucking dumb, they're so stupid, like, hurry up, how could you not do that step properly, or whatever it is. And yeah, no, coming from a place of like kindness instead. That was just a really messy explanation of everything that I was trying to get my point.
Well, I think like you might like, I mean, you would never say that to somebody, but you might think it about somebody, you know? And so I think maybe that's why it's hard for us to like not say that to ourselves, because we probably are thinking that about some. We're like, oh my God, how dumb was that?
Yeah.
So I might be derailing this a little bit, but I'm like,
no, I think it's true. Like, it is valid. It's like, I actually think though, in those moments where like sometimes I think that like I'll get frustrated with somebody else and I'm like, how could you not see that? How could you not do X, Y, Z? But I think the more that you have impatience with yourself is the more that you reflect that with others.
Yeah, that's
So the
true.
more patience that you have with yourself, the more patience you're going to give to other people. There are people in the world who are just, from our perspective, quote unquote, stupid. But yeah, I think, I don't know. The more that I've learned to have more compassion with myself and just be patient, which I think it just takes mindfulness of self perception.
So what would you say is like, let's see, where do you see that you could use some improvement when you're, we're looking at this topic of like how to make changes without beating yourself up to get there? Like what areas do you feel like you've done really well in, and what areas do you feel like you still notice that it needs some cleaning up?
I'd probably say just everything in like my fitness journey has been way more compassionate. Like food. Like if I have a day where I'm over calories, I don't beat myself up about it anymore because I'm like, maybe I was actually really fucking hungry that day and that's what my body needed. And I'm not here trying to fucking starve myself into losing losing weight and being lean. It's like, okay, something that's like sustainable.
Yeah.
Of course you're gonna experience a little bit of hunger. Or it's like maybe I just did want to have the ice cream, or maybe I just did want to have whatever it was. So I think I have more, it's like I have the awareness, and I think it has helped me on the days where I have had more discipline or how I have lost, 10 or 15 pounds already. It's like, okay, you've been doing it. Just chill out. Okay, Christy even said the other day, she was like, just chill. Because I was like just feeling up and down with a lot of like my food and I hadn't lost weight. And she's like, yeah, but just chill out. Like it's not linear. And you say that all the time. I'm like, oh yeah, you're right. So it's like, yeah, just fucking relax.
Damn it.
Like,
Don't listen to the podcast anymore.
stop using my own shit on me, okay?
I know, right? I said that for you, not me.
So I was just like, okay,
That's
so yeah,
funny.
it has taught me how to not be like, where in the past I'd eat something or be over calories for the day and be like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, why can't you just stay on track? Why can't you just do this? Why can't you just do that? Or missed a gym day, or like didn't get my steps in. It's like, in the past I just used to be like, you're so lazy. So I think I've made a lot of change in that sense. Somewhere that I'm probably still
That's
working
great.
on it is, yeah, nowhere. I've
The
pretty much
word
just
lazy
nailed
triggers
it.
me so hard.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah. I was
Why?
called that all my. I just nailed it. I just am fucking perfect.
I'm just pretty much perfect, and I got it all right now. No, I don't know. I can't
Yeah.
think of it
Oh,
right now. You
good.
tell me.
Well,
I'm just reverse psychology, because remember you were like, I didn't chart. So now I'm just taking this. I don't talk to myself negatively ever. Just kidding.
oh, that's awesome. I love that. Like, I feel like 2 or 3 years ago, it's been longer now. I can't keep track of time. I feel like I really made a lot of huge progress in my negative self-talk, and I got huge results from it. And then at one point in the last couple of years, I found myself going back down, and I've been trying to like get back to that place of talking better about myself and not beating myself up for not being where I want to be. So like years ago, I know you've heard this. I've talked to you about this like probably a million times over the time that we've known each other, because you were there when I started that journey of, because I was like super overweight. I was like over 220. I was super overweight, and I'd been battling with my weight for years, and I had all these issues and stuff. And I remember, I can't even remember what it was. It doesn't matter. But I remember something that I was in. It was like, write a letter of appreciation to your body. Because I was just like, and I like wrote, I think it was like, I had to like identify all the things that I was really upset about. And like, I had a lot of upsetness towards my body. Like, I mean, like this is super embarrassing, but like I was like a major bedwetter when I was growing up. Like I literally didn't actually even stop until I was 16. Like I did all the things, right? We were on all these medicines, all these regimens, all these things, and I remember like I would like cry and I would pray every night, please let me stop wetting the bed. And it was a huge deal. Like it really disrupted my life. Like I couldn't do sleepovers. I couldn't do all these. So I was always really upset. Like I always thought I was bad. Like from a religious context like that, I was really bad because nobody answered my prayers. And I thought, my body betrayed me. And then I remember I had a miscarriage at one point and I was really upset about that. And so I had all this thing of like, my body has let me down. My body has betrayed me. And I was super upset about it. And it was like, I'm like in my 30s and I was like, oh, and I like wrote this letter of, like of why I felt like I was so upset with my body. And then I started to like write this letter of appreciation and gratitude. And like I went through like every part of my body, like the cells, every little part, like every limb, every system in my body. And like, I think it was like, it was a long process. I was probably there for like an hour or 2 hours of like just saying like all the things that my body had done for me, all the things I was really grateful for, all the things, all the miracles that I've experienced because of my body, not to mention just being freaking alive. And I remember just being so overcome. I was like bawling of like, just like, oh my God, my body is fucking phenomenal. My body's like this fucking goddess. Like, holy shit, how could I have not seen what my body has done for me? And from then on, I was like, I just want to do what I can to support my body. I just want to love the fuck out of my body and show my body how grateful I am for it because it really has done so much for me. I mean, hello, I have 6 fucking kids.
Yeah.
Like, what a gift. What a freaking gift. And that's just one aspect of how my body has blessed me. And that's a huge one. And so when I started to do that, like everything changed for me. And I remember it was like 4 months later, somebody said something about, oh, you should get that in a small. And I was like, a small? What are you talking about? And then I went to the store and I put a small shirt on and I was like, what? Because I think at that point, like before that, I was like an XL or double X or something. And I was like, I didn't even know that I had lost all this weight. I was just trying to like figure out what made my body happy. And I was like, holy shit. And then, so like I've always been like, you can't, because all the years before I was like beating myself up. I was so upset with my body. I was like, why can't you lose weight? Why can't you keep it off? What the fuck is going on? And then once I started loving myself, that's when it shifted on its own. I wasn't even paying attention.
Yeah. That's so cool.
And so now, yeah, it's, oh my God, it was like this freaking amazing. And I tell everybody, you can't beat yourself up to get to where you want to do. You can't shame yourself into changing. But now here I am, and I'm falling back into those old things again in some ways,
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, how do I get back to that? How do I get back to that space and that energy?
That's so, I love how you just said, yeah, you can't shame yourself into making change because it's so true. And we're so programmed for that. Because it's like, if you think about going back to like grade school, they would mark you on everything, like how good you did. Mm-hmm. And just everything is like, you're good or you're bad. And it's like, okay, if we just, people just think that punishment is the way to move people forward. And I don't think it is. And I think you answered your own question when you're like, how do I get back to there? And it's like, you had such a powerful experience writing your body a letter before, like do it again. And I think,
yeah.
Also, like what you said, a lot of people, one of the things that I've been anchoring into a lot lately is like, I just say thanks to my body. I'm like, oh my God, thanks for giving me life. Like I would not be able to experience life without my body. I wouldn't be able to see the sun. I wouldn't be able to see the trees. I wouldn't be able to do anything. Go explore the world. If you don't have a body, you have nothing. You know what I mean? So it's like, you have to give you have to give your body like that kind of acknowledgement. What are you laughing at?
I'm like, you said the sunsets.
What?
And I'm like, Anne-Marie loves her sunsets.
I love my
I
senses.
was just remembering that video. I was just remembering in Mexico when you were like crying.
Oh.
Looking at the sunset. And you're like, Rochelle, take a video of this for me.
May or may not have been under the influence of a
sorry.
lot of magic mushrooms. Dude, I was actually going to say...
There. I'm so sorry. You're like, this is
Stop.
really serious. What the fuck are you laughing about?
Dude, but it's so true. I was actually gonna say mushrooms has been so amazing for me. I'm not condoning you take magic mushrooms, but I'm just saying for me they've worked wonders. Last time I think I even shared on my old podcast. I was like, "Oh my God, I took magic mushrooms and I just saw myself as the fucking most amazing goddess I've ever seen in my life." And then I was like, "How have I ever been so mean to my fucking body?" And then I just saw my life
Yeah.
as how fucking cool it was. Dude, I'm telling you, mushrooms make everything better. That's all I gotta say.
Awesome.
That was
I
really
love
funny. And then the guy was
You're
running
like
out.
crying.
Yeah, I was crying in the ocean. I was like, "It's so beautiful." And then I was like hyperventilating, crying. And the guy comes out with our check because we spent the entire day at this amazing beach club. And this guy comes out,
Oh my God, that was the
sprinting,
best.
and he's waving the check at us. And he's like, "Senoritas, senoritas, you have to pay. We're closing now." I was like, "Yeah, give me a minute."
But the sunset. Yeah, we were like what 5 hours late returning the golf cart we rented.
So late.
We had to take that kid out to dinner to say sorry.
Did we? Oh my God, you're right. What was his name? I forgot about
I
that.
don't know. Oh my God, that was hilarious. Oh shit,
That
that's
was
too good.
so funny. Oh my God. Anyways,
He's like waving us
times.
down in the street.
yeah. He's like, "There you guys are. I've been waiting here for over an hour." We're like, "Sorry."
Yeah, we were super
Oh my
late.
God.
Driving in the dark with our phone flashlights as the headlights. All right, back to it. Back to it. Yeah, you were out of your mind. I hadn't drinking for hours at that point. I had to watch you cry with the sun. So lately, I feel like what I'm struggling with my own negative self-talk, or like with the change, the cut that I'm in and trying to make these changes, is I don't ever say, "Oh, you're dumb," or "God, how could you be so stupid," or anything like that. It's more like, sometimes I'll be like, "What are you doing?" Or like, "Why aren't you further along?"
Yeah.
Or really feeling behind. I'm
Yeah.
like, "Why isn't this working? What do I need to do better?" Like, tighten it. Sometimes like I'll go tighten it up. Or I'll be like, "Come on, let's get serious." And it's like, well, what more could I actually do beyond actual starvation? And then I get into this. So it's me feeling behind, or me really harping on, it's not working, it's not working, it's not working. Why isn't it working? Why isn't this doing it? What am I doing wrong? What am I doing wrong? What am I doing wrong? And then I start fixating on like the two body parts that I'm like really upset about. And then I'll think of the third body part that I'm upset about. Like, I'm really upset about the amount of cellulite that's on my legs right now. Like, I'll look at it and it's really hard for me to like, I'll have moments like yesterday. I even had a moment. I was like, I can't remember what I was doing. I'm probably checking myself out in the mirror. Let's be real. And I was like, "Oh my gosh, look at the shape of my muscles on my legs." I was like, "Oh, those look good." And I was like, "Oh, and there's the cellulite covering it." But I was like, "Oh, I know. But look at that nice muscle. Look at the quad. Like, you have like that nice, like that. You can look at a leg and you go, oh, that leg works out. I was like, you can tell that you work out and there's muscle there." And I did pretty good. And then like it probably was like 5 minutes later, I saw it my legs at a different angle as I walked out of the bathroom, and I was like, "Ah, the cellulite." And then I've got like this funny roll that like shows up between my pants and my sports bra, that it's like, it looks like a tube in the back. Well, to me it does. And so I get really self-conscious about it. So now I start wearing shirts in the gym and I'm like hot. And I'm like, oh, like, and yesterday, like, we were going to the gym and I was saying something about it, and Dylan was like, "You have to stop saying that about yourself. You've got to stop talking like that. I don't want to hear you say that again." And I'm like, "You're right." But so that's where I'm struggling with, is like, how do I stop fixating on the parts that are really bothering me? And like, how do I stop fixating on that feeling of being behind, and then I start getting worried. I'm like, oh my God, what if my thyroid's fucking all this up? Because I've been there so many times where like, I'm like, oh, working out, and you can't tell, and it doesn't look like it, and nothing's moving. And so I feel like that sometimes when I get impatient, because I get in that fear of like, oh God, it's happening again. Oh God, it's happening again. And so I'm like, okay, how do I get here? Because I feel like it's different from before. Mm-hmm. So how do I shift this new challenge?
I don't know, like for me, I have days that are really good, and then I have days that are not good. And when I notice that I'm like nitpicking myself, one of the things that Soul taught me actually was so helpful, that has been really something that I leaned into like heavy for a little while, was the phrase like, leave yourself alone. Like when I'm nitpicking all the details about myself, like I the other day was doing it. I think I was really fucking tired, and I hadn't slept well, and I was just like really yeah, I was just and I had eaten over my calories that day, and I was really fucking hungry and like whatever. And then I was like, yeah, oh, you the spiral of like what you were saying, like, oh, why aren't you, like, why couldn't you just do XYZ? Like, what's wrong with you? That's probably one of the ones that like I default to, is like, oh, well, why couldn't you just be more disciplined? Why, like, what's wrong with you? So I was in that moment, like I was going to bed, and then I was just like rehearsing everything that I like quote unquote did wrong that day. And then I was like, just fucking leave yourself alone just for today. Tomorrow you can go back to fucking nitpicking yourself, but leave yourself alone. And I find that it just gives you permission in that moment to like stop the process. And I use that a lot actually when I started, because I was like in this deep hole of like, oh, I don't like my body, I want to lose weight, blah, blah, blah. And it was just like, just leave yourself alone, leave yourself alone, leave yourself alone. And so I just kept saying that over and over and over again to myself.
I really like that, because I'm thinking of that, like, because when like the kids will be like bickering or fighting, and I was like, just leave each other alone, just go in another room for a few minutes, and then when you calm down, come back. So I feel like that's a really good visual of like, that's what I'm doing to myself, going, and just leave myself alone. Like give myself a timeout of like, okay, and we're done. Pause. I love that.
Yeah, because then it
tool.
stops the spiral.
I'm gonna try that.
It stops the spiral.
Yeah,
and it helps a lot. So yeah, I would say try that one. That I've come back into awareness of that when I am having those negative things, and like yeah, just reminding like you change the most when you're in a compassionate space, and you're most open to being receptive to change when you're in a space of kindness. So then it's like, you know, when I'm having that, then it's like I'll sit down, and if there's something I want to change, like, okay, going back to the things that we talked about before, okay, this didn't go the way that I wanted it to, how can I support myself better next time? And I think too, like for
that's good.
For your journey too, like it's like you have to come back and remind yourself that it's all an experiment. Like you're just figuring out what works for your body. You lost a lot of weight in the past from keto. Now you're trying to do it in a different way that's a little bit more healthy and sustainable. So it's like, yeah, you've been in a calorie deficit for a while. Go up. It's an experiment to go up to your maintenance for a few months and then drop calories again and see what happens. And you've been under so much stress, so just give yourself space.
Facts. Yeah. No kidding. Jesus. That's funny.
That's funny.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's probably what I would say about my negative thoughts that I started noticing the other day. Yeah, leave myself alone.
Sometimes when I was doing it, I've gotten really good at not comparing myself to other women.
Yeah, you have come so far with
really
that.
Hard for me. Yeah, because I'm sure other people can relate to this, or you just like, oh, you see this girl and you're like, oh my God, and then you just like start picking yourself apart because you're not as perfect
Whatever she
as
is.
this other human being. Yeah, you're like, is she an animatron? Like, how did this happen? What? Damn it!
Yeah.
But definitely, I've definitely gotten better. I know, like the book, feel like a lot of people for some reason have like a lot of controversy around the book, the Let Them book that
Oh
Mel
yeah, yeah,
Robbins
yeah,
wrote.
yeah.
Like, I don't know. I ignored it because I was like, I'm not getting sucked into that drama, because I read the book and it really was helpful for me. And the let them and then let me, because I was like, okay, well, this is, if I see this girl, what is coming up for me? Well, maybe it's because it's like before we did the challenge is when I was reading it and I was like, well, maybe it's because I haven't committed to a cut. Like maybe I'm feeling this upsetness. Well, maybe what's that upsetness really about? Maybe it's because it's showing me what I haven't taken seriously, what I haven't done for myself. She showed up for herself and maybe I haven't showed up for myself. How could I show up for myself? And then also being like, and this is the universe saying, if she can do it, I can do it too. So then using that and then getting back to that energy that I prefer of like, I always want to be able to celebrate somebody, because I know if I can't celebrate somebody else, then I can't have it for myself. So if I can't celebrate somebody just made a fucking $1 million in a month, I'll never make $1 million in a month. Like, I have to be able to celebrate somebody else, genuinely, truly celebrate their successes so that I can receive them as well. But and I like being in that energy better anyway, because I don't ever want to have like that icky feeling about anybody else.
Yeah,
But
you've come a long way
so
with
that
that.
really helped me with that comparison and stuff. So I feel like when I go to the gym, even when I see like this like gorgeous specimen, I just really start like, I'm just appreciating her, but like, God, she's worked really hard for that. I'm so proud of her. Way to go. And then I just redirect I just kind of like let it float by, and then I just keep on going. So that's a huge fucking win.
That's cool.
And I think, yeah, I think other ways I just like have just said, I've just started to be more grateful and to celebrate how far I have come.
Yeah, I think it's so important to
But
like focus on your own journey, like really coming back to yourself and not comparing yourself to other people and being like, how far have I come? And exactly like you said, it's so easy to externally look at everybody else and how much everybody else is doing, and it's like, yeah, but you don't know that person's journey. They could have been on this journey for a long time. And I think it's, people think that when they start training in the gym, they're just going to gain a bunch of muscle, and they think that when they start training in the gym, they're going to get really lean. And it's like, it's just not linear. Like, every body is so different. Everybody has underlying health issues and things that they need to address before your body will even let you lose weight, So
yeah,
I don't know.
absolutely.
Yeah, it's really interesting. I think this kind of is like, we're going to be doing another episode on like our body image, and it's a huge thing in the fitness space. And so I think we touched a little bit on that today, but yeah, we don't have it all figured out. No, we don't have it all figured out. And I think it's good, like, just to start these conversations authentically and just like, talk about how we're kind of moving through the experiences that we're having. And, yeah, so I appreciate that you shared a lot of that stuff so vulnerably.
Oh, yeah, you're welcome. I don't know how to respond to that. So awkward.
Fuck.
Alrighty.
Oh, that's funny. Okay, so let's segue into our, speaking of celebrating other women, let's move into our She's Making Gains segment that you have for us today.
Let's do it. So I've been slowly making a friend at the gym, so I won't use her name. We're getting there.
You just tag her in this on Instagram, and she's like, "What the heck? No more new friend."
I'd have to find her first. Yeah. By the way, I was talking about you on our podcast. Yeah. I was asking her about her workout, and so because she's just like, she's had such a huge transformation, and we were talking about it, and she said one of the main things that she did was stop drinking completely, and how, I think, what did she say? She's been sober for like a couple of years now. Whoa. And like how that was the biggest factor in her transformation. And she showed me her before, and I was like, oh wow, I think I might have seen her originally at the gym like in the middle of her transformation.
Wow.
She was a lot heavier than I remember her being. And like, she's like, oh my gosh, you see her in the gym. She's like this fucking baddie, right?
I
Just
love it.
primo, and she's so kind. But and like, I love it because she was getting super passionate about the. It was actually, it all stemmed from, because she had like diabetes. I don't know if she still has it, but she had like this moment where she was just like, I can't do this anymore. I can't be this person anymore. And she actually changed her lifestyle, and then everything else kind of naturally unfolded. Like, she didn't really intentionally go to set out to be she doesn't, to be a gym girly. She just like stopped drinking. She changed her lifestyle. She changed her habits. She changed the people she was surrounding herself with, and then everything else just cascaded. And you can see the picture versus her now, and I think the biggest difference that I see is her eyes, like her,
That's
like
so cool. Glowing.
the light in her eyes, and like the
Yeah.
brightness of her smile. Like, I mean, the body transformation is huge because she's like ripped. She's awesome. But like, it's her mental health, you can tell,
It's
is the
changed a
biggest
lot.
transformation. Yeah, it's fucking awesome.
crazy. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, I would totally agree. Drinking just lowers your vibration. It lowers like just your experience of life, and it's crazy how much people enjoy drinking and use it as an escape. And yeah, I know a lot of people that do enjoy a drink from time to time, like wine with dinner or whatever it is, And then there's the people who drink all the fucking time just to get through life. And I'm like, I couldn't. I don't know. I used to party my fucking face off and I just can't do it. Like, I'll have a drink from time to time. I think the last time I had like a lot of drinks was when we were in Mexico together. That was years ago.
That was a long time ago. Yeah, that was years ago. Yeah.
Years ago. And I'm like, I think I've had like a couple drinks, or I tried to get drunk at my friend's wedding one time, and my body was just like,
You
no.
tried.
I
My
tried.
goal tonight is to get drunk.
I know. I was like, I'm going to try. We were there and like everybody was having drinks. I was like, fuck it. I'm going to take keys, please. And I'm going to get drunk. And then I had like one more drink. I was like, I can't even. Like, my body just rejects it, and the motivation is just not there. I can't do it.
The motivation. I just couldn't talk myself into it.
So it's,
And then Marie, one more sip.
oh my God. It's so funny.
That's
like,
awesome.
so I think when you like going back to kind of like what you were saying and what we were talking about today, the more that you value yourself and the more that you work on the negative self-talk and seeing yourself differently, you choose different behaviors for yourself. And because you're coming from a place of like, I want the best for myself, rather than like, you have to change because you need XYZ. It's like, how can we feel the best? How can I be my best for just enjoying your life? So
yeah, not trying to
love that
fix
story.
yourself. You're not broken. Yeah, that's
No.
awesome. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay, good. Well, on that note, we are hosting a free 30-day challenge called Hot Girl Challenge, and we are so excited about it. It's so fun. It's May, what's the date today? 2nd. And so we're on day 2 today. You can join at any point, because as soon as you join, you're going to get entered into our email sequence, and you're going to get an email every day. And so we're helping you set up your macros, how to track your water. We're having accountability inside of our private group, which is amazing. So it's just super easy, step by step. You're going to get all the resources. We are so excited about it. It has cardio challenges. It has PR challenges. It has all the things, and also days that are like really simple. All the things. Yeah, all the things. So make sure you check that out. There's going to be a link here for you to get registered, and we would love nothing more than to see you in there. So yeah, thank you so much for listening today, and we're going to see you in the next episode. Bye.